Welcome into WagerTalk TV. I am Drew Martin, joined by Robbie Vino and Tony Finn of WagerTalk.com. We're talking NFL action here. We got the Buffalo Bills and the LA Chargers, not the San Diego Chargers anymore. Bills -5 in the hook here, Robbie. 53.5 being the total. What do you think of Chargers Bills?
Yeah, interesting one, Drew. Obviously, whenever we have one of these games, the first um, situational thought that comes to mind is a West Coast to East Coast for a 1 o'clock game. But I'll tell you, there's a lot of instances here, guys, where the West Coast team has really done away with that anymore. I don't even incorporate it for what it's worth, unless it's going to happen multiple times in a short time frame, say 3 trips east in 6 weeks. I think the Rams had that situation when they went to Miami and got buried a couple of weeks ago. But other than that, not too worried about it. And you know what? The weather's going to be good in Buffalo on Sunday. So for late November to have mid 40s with 11-mile-an-hour winds, at least this is the projection, 10% chance of precipitation. That's good news for the Chargers, who like to throw the ball around a lot. And it's interesting to note, when you just look at overall statistics on the season for these two teams, how similar they really are. Their records aren't similar, but statistically, they're pretty similar. And the Chargers, as we all know, just find ways to lose one-score games real late. But I'm going to go toward the total in this game, guys. Listen, the Chargers are over the number 7 straight, and there's really no reason to come off of that right now, unless the odds makers want to make it 61 or 62. The Chargers, like I say, 7-0 over the total last 7 games. The average game result is 60.6 points per game. I think here this one's already been bet up from 50 to 53. 6 of the 7 that the Chargers have gone over have scored 57 points or more. That's pretty excessive over 53 that we're looking at right now. So that's good. If you're looking at over, the only game that didn't get over 53 right now or over 57 is the Miami game, 29-21 final there. Chargers putting up 29.7 points per game over that 7-game span. Their opponents, 30.9. So basically a 30 to 31 game over the course of the last 7 weeks where the Chargers are involved. I think what makes matters worse for the Chargers defensively here, guys, is the fact that, in this 7-game stretch, Jacksonville scored 29 against them. Denver scored 31. Miami scored 29. The Jets on Sunday scored 28. Those are your 21st, your 27th, your 29th, and your 32nd rated total yardage offenses in the NFL. So teams that don't generally play good offense, and yet they're scoring points on San Diego. It's contrary to their numbers because they only give up 344 yards a game. So they're just finding ways to give up points. The Jets didn't even get 300 yards the other day, but they got 28 points, 3 fourth-quarter drives that were all 74 yards or better. You could probably expect Buffalo, even though they're off a bye week. I wouldn't, again, that bye week is always 20/20 hindsight. Are you rested and ready, or are you rusty? Let's assume Buffalo at home is going to be rested and ready. Both really good pass offenses, as I mentioned, 3rd and 4th in the league. The one statistical difference you can find is Buffalo's not as good as there goes the San Diego, Drew. LA against the run. I'm good for one slip up every time I talk about these teams. So can they run enough? Can the Chargers run enough against the Buffalo defense? We'll see. There's a chance Austin Eckler could be back. Austin Eckler hit the practice field today, has been out for a while. Otherwise, it'll be Kalen Ballage, the guy who's been running the football for them from Arizona State the last couple of weeks. Last week, the Chargers got Joey Bosa back. Should make a big difference in the pass rush, but it didn't seem to. Only 1 sack against the Jets in 30 attempts throwing the football. So we'll see if Bosa makes more of an impact this week against Josh Allen, who's been real good against the blitz, one of the top-rated quarterbacks against the blitz. The Bills, like the Chargers, they're an over machine, 7-2-1 over the total this year. Over 53, the number we're looking at 6 times. But some personnel notes real quick as I close it out here that might hinder the total just a bit, right? Because Buffalo gets Josh Norman back, one of their top cornerbacks. He was on the COVID list. He's going to play. However, one of their key receivers, John Brown, didn't practice today, still questionable. Their number 1 tight end, Dawson Knox, didn't practice today, still questionable. So those are things that wouldn't lend themselves to more points being scored. But I still think over 53 is the way to go here. Until the LA Chargers don't continue getting over these numbers, I'll have to just keep riding that.
Robbie, I'm with you. I think this total is hanging a little bit too low. I agree with the market movement here towards the over. Talking about the Los Angeles Chargers, Robbie. Yes, very important to remember that aspect of it, and the Buffalo Bills. Two good young quarterbacks here. Tony, what are your quick thoughts here? Bills and Chargers.
Well, let me get Rob's back first, and that is, if I don't, I promise you, Rob, and everyone listening, that maybe not in this video or this take, because it's been I'm obviously alert to it now. Is I'll call Raiders, the Oakland Raiders, for at least another 5 years. I mean, I did it when they moved to LA. I called them the Oakland Raiders for 5 years. It took me 5 years before I started calling them the LA Raiders. And then when they moved back to Oakland, I called them the LA Raiders for 5 years. And
Tony, I think this one's tougher. I think the Chargers is the tougher one. Yeah, just because San Diego and LA are so close.
I couldn't agree more. It has been a whole probably 5 days since I haven't called them the San Diego Chargers, because they'll always be the San Diego Chargers. They'll always be that team that. And speaking of the Chargers, this was a real good rivalry back in, when I was in my 20s during the AFL titles. Since you guys call me so old, but to the game, since Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas and Bruce Smith aren't with us today to talk about the game and the good era for the Buffalo Bills, we may see a return of it. In truth, I did the same thing you two did. First thing I did when I saw this total of 51.5, when it opened up on Sunday, I said, well, I sure like this over. I checked the weather. Weather seemed to be fine. And, I took a deep breath and I looked again. It was 53. Bam. So the movement it is absolutely correct. I agree. I still like the over 53. If I'm going to play this game, I'm going to be on the over. And in truth, everything Rob said is true. I agree with both of you guys. This is a Bolts team that is that's 3-7. And I can make an argument they could very easily be 7-3. They've scored over 30, I think 7 straight games. I think as Rob described. But close to it. They have outgained their last 7 opponents. They have they've only been I think worse than -1 in turnovers only one time, and they've almost every game have had fewer penalties than their opponents. How do you explain 3-7? You could take the major media or major portals argument that Lynn is just Lynn, and that's what you're always going to get with Lynn. And I'll tell you this: if those are listening, and like you two will probably agree, as much tape as I watch and replays as I watch, and how is Team A performing in their 3-4 after switching from a 4-3, that this may be the most vanilla offense and the most vanilla defense in the NFL. I know this for a fact, that if I'm a coach and I was opposing the Chargers, the San Diego Chargers, that is, I will be not only prepared for them because of this vanilla scheme that they run both sides of the ball, I'll be extra prepared in the second half. And if you look at trends for this team, for the most part, they've had 14, 17, 18-point leads in games and surrender them. And it's because Lynn does not make good second half adjustments. And to get off, I could talk about this for hours, because this is the kind of thing I love to talk about. But good luck, bad luck, whatever the case may be for the Chargers, bad, good coaching, however you want to paint this picture. This is a game where I can make a really good argument for the Chargers. And the fact is that last week I would have been on the Chargers, except for the insanity that the market came back a little bit. But once I saw -10 on a rookie quarterback, Herbert, that's not my cup of tea, and that doesn't fit into my sexual preference. A rookie quarterback and backing him -10. So just said, I like this game. I'm going to watch this game. I'd like to see Lynn do a little better. Josh Allen's a tricky guy. A tricky guy for a defense. Is vanilla at San Diego. I think this is a guy. I think he can gain 60 yards on the ground. And I think he can throw for 6 touchdowns. I like the over too. Let's hit it hard and make it go to 55.
You guys got a lot here. Location, name a team, sexual orientation from Tony Finn. This video was packed. And guys, just to end it, remember on the bottom screen there, you got BF999 takes $1,000 off Any full long 1-year service, Rob Vino, Tony Finn, both great choices at WagerTalk.com. And that coupon code BF999, good at SportsMemo or WagerTalk.com.
Everyone at WagerTalk would like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. With a full day of football on Thanksgiving, football all day Black Friday, plus a normal Saturday, Sunday, and Monday slate of games, we have a special Turkey Day offer for you. Football for the rest of November through Monday, November 30th for only $69 for this entire week of football. There is no limit to the number of handicappers you can buy during this Thanksgiving special. Pay only $69, save money, get your winners in a quick, convenient fashion, and have a great Thanksgiving weekend.